The whole debacle began on the team Facebook page. We could all see what the club was doing, stepping the price of entry right over, and indeed through any threshold of reason. Well, they could go whistle. So, of course, with only the finest of intentions, I began my operation. I embarked by creating a non-de-plume profile by the name of Gareth Westwood, the name being the same as one of our top players. This noun lifting would create a talking point, be remembered, and above everything, cut a very different dash to me. After all, one must take care of one's season ticket. In the non-digital, I'd picked my staging ground, the high roof of a council block overlooking the home ground. I had often, while cycling my way through the argy-bargy of city traffic, wondered two things about that lofty summit. One, I had a strong suspicion that with the right angle and placing, you could enjoy the beautiful game free, as it were, from the deplorable levy of entry. And two, that if you were able to get a sizable group of the hoi polloi onto that roof, then with high spirits encourage them to jump as one, you could, I think, bring the whole monolithic disgrace down. You see, they would go through the first floor, and with massive entry on their side, burst through the next floor, and the next, all the way to the bottom until only dust and rubble remained. A grand plan. After all, it is the bored mind from which masterworks flow. Returning to Facebook, I started posting football pictures with amusing captions. This went on for about a month. I have read many accounts of grand old Churchill, a cigar smouldering in one great shovel of a hand, dictating his polite prose after entertaining guests with wine and port, showing himself to be the true marathon man he indeed was. It was with these images in mind that I would every night follow the discussions and work on my wit, my 3 platinum rules being: be first, be glib, and above all, be positive. After a few weeks of this, I launched a rival fan page, Bristol City Till We Die. Again, using memes, I managed to spread jokes in amongst even the most liberal of my fellow fans. It was at this point that I created a third alter ego, a witty working-class lad by the name of Darren Langham. His profile picture, a cross of St. George with a city coat of arms in the centre, spoke every one of the 1,000 words that I needed. I made sure he was an open, plain-speaking class of chap with a penchant for memes about the armed forces. He would share links shedding a derisory light on snowflakes, political correctness, the liberal elite, and the like. Darren, the next figure in the Matryoshka doll of my plan, would start jovially, of course, by addressing the ticket pricing strategy. His ruckus would rouse the keyboard troops, and if we played our hand in the right way, all of the pieces would fall into place. Well, not since that rather ill-advised attack on Pearl Harbor was there ever a moment more appropriate for the popping of the old Pol Roger. My fellow fans had been looking at that tower and thinking very much the same thing. No further drudgery was required on my part. All I had to do was keep the witticisms coming, maintain the good-natured criticisms, and watch my compatriots finish the job. As the good people of our fair city busied themselves in their various industry, I waited, an avian midwife to a golden egg of victory. A match day came, a big one. Some United or City had rocked up to challenge our kitted heroes, and with them they had brought a capacity crowd. The stage was set, and my audience was ready for the show. I'd picked a particularly excellent seat at the far end of the stadium from where I could see the top of the tower block. The game began well enough, and after much chanting and cries of foul to the ref, I could see a large crowd massing atop the fated council behemoth. Above them, The police and a contingent of the local press were hovering in their whirlybirds, hot onto the story that I alone was telling. Half-time came and Lady Destiny was knocking at the door. As the helicopters moved in for a better shot, I saw for a brief moment the blue and white of our team's banners all rise up together in a florid display of triumph. What a photo that made! I've had it framed and set pride of place just above the pot in my bathroom. One can pass the evening's port whilst contemplating that singular moment of victory. You see, for that brief second, all of those people spoke with their bodies as one, showing their will to the cronies in charge, and then, without fuss, having done their duty, they fell away. A puff of dust leapt into the city air, a loud crack, reaching my position shortly after, and then there was another, then another, and then another, with windows blowing out as the horde descended, floor by floor, until the whole hulking carbuncle crumbled in a calamitous, juddering climax of crushed concrete. Of course, it was seen as a terrible tragedy. The media, both national and local, mourned the loss of those heroic men and women barking as they do for justice. Using the established Facebook pages, I started a campaign to bring down anybody who could have possibly been attached to this ghastly business. The club hierarchy fell in one foul, swooping day, along with several important council lackeys. The consensus came to be that those Marxist demagogues in charge had not provided the necessary signage and barriers for the public to heed. Security gates became a common sight on council properties across the country, with ID cards heading into the hands of those within certain demographics. May I add a good thing too? Nobody needs to be directed more than the boiling mass of our nation's poor. Back here in our home city, with most of the club's managerial team gutted and the winds of uncertainty blowing across the pitch, it seemed a fitting time to start my climb into the natural position of club chairman. By golly, now that I can set my own ticket price, I'll rinse those filthy buggers for every penny they've got.